WrestleMania takes place in 360 days from SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. And that is the next time we will see a WrestleMania, because the show we have this weekend is a fucking travesty. It's not WrestleMania. We'll call it that, but it's not WrestleMania. It takes place in the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. And I think this is actually the third WrestleMania in Orlando. The first two were at the Citrus Bowl or Camping World Stadium, whatever it's called. And this one's going to be in the WWE Performance Center with a record-setting attendance of 0 people. Maybe 3 cameramen if you can count them. But certainly 0 paid attendance. And I'm just going to say this whole thing sucks. I hate this fucking coronavirus. WrestleMania, the card this year isn't the greatest. The show in Tampa Bay, if it would have happened in Raymond James Stadium, it probably wouldn't have been a great WrestleMania. It could have been a decent show, you never know. But every WrestleMania, whether or not the card is good or not, I always look forward to it. WrestleMania is like Christmas to me. It's the one day of the year I always have marked on my calendar, more than the Super Bowl Sunday or any other big event. I love WrestleMania. When I wake up that Sunday morning, it's WrestleMania Sunday. The build-up might not have been the greatest, matches might not be the greatest, but it's WrestleMania. I love it. I love the build-up to it. I love the video package. I love when it opens up with the big pyro and seeing the fans every year and the national anthem. I love WrestleMania. And we're not getting WrestleMania this year, and it really sucks. I just wish... I don't blame them at this point. I was mad at them. I'll just leave it at this. I was someone who was campaigning, just cancel the show, do the shows on Raw and SmackDown, and build a new card for SummerSlam, and make SummerSlam WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the show they have in Boston and in the stadium, in the TD Garden, and move SummerSlam to September or something. That's what I thought they should do. Now this thing's going to go past SummerSlam. I don't think we're going to have a SummerSlam this year. I mean, we'll probably have one in the Performance Center like WrestleMania. This could go past Survivor Series. Maybe we don't get WrestleMania 37 and we have another one in the Performance Center. I don't know what the hell this fucking coronavirus is. It's from hell and it ruined WrestleMania for you. So fuck you, coronavirus, COVID-19, Chinese virus, whatever you want to fucking call it. Fuck you, you ruined WrestleMania. But this is a show that is too big for just one night. And it's funny, on TV they can't mention the virus. Have you noticed that? Anyway, you have 16 matches. You're going to have 8 matches on both shows. I wonder if there was what the card would have been if this virus never happened, what they would have done in the stadium, because I think they would have had the 2 battle royals like to do up here. So you have some people left off, but they have 16 matches. I'm sure you'll get 8 matches both nights. On April 4th is Saturday. On April 5th is Sunday. So here we go. Here's the matches. It sucks. I wish this was the Raymond James Stadium show, and you're going to have, 60,000, 70,000 people there. I'm also super bummed we're not going to get the big pirate ship. I thought they were going to build this giant pirate ship set and make it look really awesome. They did that for WrestleMania 33. Remember the big roller coaster? I was thinking for 36, they're going to build a giant pirate ship, and it's going to be massive, but we're not getting that. We're not getting WrestleMania. I love it. Oh, it sucks. Okay. I'm going to finally get to the matches and go through my predictions for each match. And this is in no particular order. We don't know when these matches are going to happen. I think they announced some for Saturday and Sunday, but we don't know for sure. Here we go. You have Otis taking on Dolph Ziggler, who's going to be accompanied by Mandy Rose. And I thought Mandy Rose would probably be the referee here. I guess Mandy's there. Sonya might come out too. I don't know. Mandy's never had a WrestleMania match on the main card. She's been in a Battle Royal, but she's never had an actual match on the main card. She'll be there. I don't know. I want to pick Otis, but I think Dolph's going to win. I think they're just going to keep continuing this feud. I think maybe it goes into the summer and that's when they blow everything off. But I'm thinking Dolph. I wanted to pick Otis, but I think Dolph's going to win. I don't care. Maybe Sonya will come out too and they'll mess up. Or maybe it's possible Sonya messes it up too and Dolph loses the match to Otis. That could happen, but I do think Dolph's going to win, unfortunately. There'll be Otis looking sad and Mandy feeling bad for him. Next, you have the match that I will not watch. This is the piss break match. Elias against Baron Corbin. I'm just going to pick Elias. Hope he wins. Don't care about that. You have Aleister Black taking on Bobby Lashley, who's going to be accompanied to the ring with Lana. So Lana is not going to save Lashley. Aleister Black wins. I think this is one of the locks of the night. I'd be absolutely shocked if Bobby Lashley wins. Aleister Black takes this easy. He'll get a good push. And I heard Aleister Black was originally one of the two guys considered to face Brock Lesnar at the show. It was going to be either Drew McIntyre or Aleister Black. And Drew got the Rumble, obviously. But Black might have been able to do well. I don't know. But the thing with him is his height. So Aleister's beating Bobby Lashley, no problem. The Raw Tag Team title match, you have the Street Profits taking on Angel Garza and Austin Theory, and of course, then the Vega will be there. She'll get involved, but it's not going to matter. Street Profits win. Lock, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. Beat Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Nothing match here. They win easy. I'd be shocked if they lose. The SmackDown Tag Team Championship will be defended in a triple threat ladder match, and you have the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, John Morrison and The Miz, who's not going to wrestle. I don't believe The Miz is wrestling on the show. There's been reports. I think he's off, so it'll probably just be John Morrison defending by himself, taking on the New Day and the Usos. So we don't know who Morrison's partner is going to be. It's still a mystery. I'm not sure. We don't know who it is. They could go. There's different options to who they could go with. Maybe they bring in someone who's just there. I mean, they can have him team at Morrison, but this could be. It's a ladder match in front of no people. It's going to fail miserably. I think John Morrison retains. I think he beats the Usos in the New Day. I hope they don't do any big spots. Please don't kill yourselves for fucking no one in the damn arena. I heard the Usos were mad about The Miz being sick, so that had parts to do with why Roman Reigns does not wrestle on the show. Next, the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. The champions, the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, take on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So Alexa and Nikki were the champs before Asuka, Kairi. I think this match was originally going to be Asuka and Kairi against Beth and Natalya, and it could have been a triple threat with Alexa and Nikki. But everything that happened with Beth and then the travel, I guess Natalya is unfortunately off the show. That's kind of sad, but no Natalya on WrestleMania, but it's not really WrestleMania. Asuka and Kairi. I like Alexa. I've always been a big fan of hers. I think she's very talented. She's a great promo. She is absolutely gorgeous. I like her look. I like her a lot. But she's not winning. I don't think she wins. I don't think Nikki Cross wins. Kairi Sane, the one thing you can say is Kairi Sane's going to leave. And Io Shirai, I think, I don't know. I think she's in Japan, actually. But both of them could leave. I still think Asuka's going to win because they're pushing her so much. And they're really giving Asuka a push on TV. She's everywhere. She's like the most used wrestler on Raw and SmackDown. She's competing on both shows. I think because of Asuka, she wins. But Kairi leaving could have an impact. I'm going to go with the Kabuki Warriors to retain. Next, you have the SmackDown Women's Championship defended in a Fatal 5-Way elimination match. You have the champion, Bayley. It's Bayley. They don't call her that anymore. Bayley. SmackDown Women's Champion, defending her title against Sasha Banks, her best friend, Naomi, Lacey Evans, and Tamina. Tamina, pockets. The pockets joke. That's an inside joke. If you have to listen to Wrestling Soup to understand, but pockets isn't winning. Lacey Evans, she'll come back, probably come down to the last 3 or something, but she's not going to win. I would be shocked. Naomi, maybe she's kind of a dark horse. It could happen. I don't see Naomi winning. It comes down to Bayley or Sasha Banks. And Sasha, ever since she comes back, she's changed her look. She looks gorgeous. She looks beautiful. And she's been, doing hip-hop albums, and she was supposed to have an album drop, but it got delayed and probably would have been perfect for WrestleMania. And I don't like her theme song, but I think that's just temporary. She'll probably have one of her own themes, because her theme song is just Snoop Dogg's rap from WrestleMania 32. That's all it is. I don't like it. I like her old one better. But Sasha could win. It could come down to her Bayley. Let me go Bayley retaining because I think we're going to keep building up Bayley, Sasha. And that's a match that's destined to never happen at WrestleMania. The certain matches just are not going to happen. This has been built up forever. They're going to go and they're going to get switched to different brands. They're never going to have a match at WrestleMania. It's not happening. You're never going to see it. They might have a match, whatever SummerSlam is. I'll keep going back to that, but they'll have won another pay-per-view. I think this was originally going to be Bayley Sasha, but then Sasha hurt her ankle this year. But I'm going to go Bayley. I think it'll come down to Bayley Sasha, and Bayley will get a quick roll-up, and Sasha will pretend to be her friend for a couple more months. They'll tease it, and eventually it'll linger, and Sasha will turn. But Bayley's keeping her title. I'm picking Bayley to retain the SmackDown Women's title. Next, you have Seth Rollins against Kevin Owens. I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. I think he's going to beat Seth Rollins. I think they'll have a very good matchup here. Should be very entertaining. Could go back and forth. They could have Rollins win. Rollins has opened WrestleMania for, I think, the last 2 years. He's won titles, and this is a bit of a step down from where he was last. Certainly a step down, even though KO's not really looked at as a bad wrestler, but he was, wrestling for the Universal title against Brock. He was one of the most over guys in the company. He squashes Brock Lesnar last year at WrestleMania 35, and now he's just not doing anything. I think, I don't know, it could go to Owens, but I think this will be a good match. You can't have a good match. I think the most entertaining matches are going to be like the Funhouse match and the Boneyard match and the gimmick matches, but you can't have a good wrestling match here in this fucking no environment. But I'm going to go with KO to win. It's just sad thinking about this show. Next, you have the last man standing match, and without question has been the best build-up to a match this year. Randy Orton takes on the returning Edge, and Edge is in his first official match, singles match since returning. He returned at the Royal Rumble, but this is his first real match. I think Edge wins. I think this is almost a lock. Who knows what Edge's future at the company is going to be? It could be a situation where Edge comes back, and it's not. I don't know if he'll wrestle the actual 3 years, but he could. You never know. Hopefully he does. He's a good guy, but I think Edge is going to win. I don't see Randy Orton beating Edge in his return. I mean, it could happen, and this would be the show to do it. I guess this is a feud you can actually continue, so it wouldn't be a huge deal. And Edge is signed long term, so you can have him get his win back eventually. So it wouldn't be a huge deal to have Randy Orton beat Edge. But I think Edge will win. I think it'll be a good match. They'll do well here. It's such a shame that this is not going to happen in the stadium, in Raymond James Stadium. It's just, they did such a good job building this up. This is one of the better built-up matches for WrestleMania we've seen in quite some time. And it's extremely unfortunate that it's going to be relegated to an empty arena. And, maybe this could be the kind of match where it's like the empty arena type match. Remember The Rock and Mankind had that match? That could be this kind of match they wrestle around, because you have the Boneyard match and the Funhouse match. Those are on location matches. This could be the match where they fight in the crowd and stuff. Could be an entertaining match. I think it probably will be. I just had like a million last man standing matches in his career. So has Orton. They've both had a million of them. Orton, both of them. I think Edge wins. I think Edge beats Randy Orton, and maybe the feud continues. But I think Edge takes this, and it's just unfortunate. It's going to be relegated to this. Just an observation. Never been a huge hip hop fan, but I think the theme song is actually really good this year, and it's usually horrendous, but it's actually pretty good. I think it's The Weeknd's "Blinding Lights." I think it actually has a really good theme song, but it's too bad. I know, I'm going to keep going back. I'm pissed off WrestleMania is being relegated. I'd rather just not have WrestleMania and wait another year, and it'll be like a 2-year gap between WrestleManias. So it'll be like the show in New York, 2 years later we have LA WrestleMania. But, yeah. Fucking Vince, you have to fucking do this. Just let it go, Vince. Let it go. Let this go. You'll have WrestleMania eventually one more time, but the fact that it's being in this it sucks that they're doing WrestleMania here. Anyway, moving on, you have a Funhouse match, The Fiend Bray Wyatt against John Cena. So, it's funny. Everyone thinks it's like the House of Horrors with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton from 3 years ago. And actually, when I first started doing LRMania, this channel was Payback in 2017. Go back and watch it, because it sounds like 3 years ago. I don't know how my videos have changed from then, but that was like the first pay-per-view I reviewed for my channel. It was that horrible House of Horrors match, a horrendous match. I think this will be better. I think John Cena will have more fun with it. I think they'll do in the fun house, they can have the Rambling Rabbit and those other 3 puppets involved, and they'll get killed in the match, I assume. It could be a fun match. It could be entertaining. I'm not that looking forward to it. It is what it is. I think this is one of the matches, though, what's actually better in this funhouse. I think this will be a better match than the match they're going to have if they had a real match. WrestleMania 3, they showed that again when John Cena pinned Bray Wyatt. It wasn't really a bad match. It was a horrible ending. Everyone wanted Bray to win, and Bray had that really cool entrance that year. But John Cena won, and it pissed people off. But the match, it was an okay match. The whole thing was basically Bray Wyatt getting into John Cena's head. It was that same storyline they did a couple of years before. That was the whole embrace the hate angle with John Cena and Kane. It's the exact same stuff that they did in that feud. But this feud, I'm going to go with Bray to win. The Fiend wins. The Fiend wins this match. Could go to John Cena. Wouldn't be shocked, but I think the Fiend takes this. I'm pretty confident picking the Fiend in this. Next, you have a Boneyard match. The Undertaker takes on AJ Styles, and we saw the return of the American Badass on Monday. Well, kind of, sort of, but mostly an American Badass promo, in which the Undertaker gets really mad at AJ Styles mentioning Michelle McCool. He says that her finisher, or her version of the Styles Clash, whatever she called it, was better than his, which is fucking ridiculous, but it is unfortunate that this is not like a big match at WrestleMania, because they could have built this up well. And 10 years ago, this is a classic match, but I had to make a comment. So Undertaker talked about on Raw this past week that AJ Styles, he waited till all the big Attitude Era guys were gone. You know, he stayed in the big fish. He was in the big fish in the small pond in TNA or whatever. But he couldn't handle the big top guys in WWE, like The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock and Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Mick Foley, Kurt Angle, Booker T, Eddie Guerrero, someone else. I forgot the last guy he mentioned or whatever. But that was his whole angle. Kane, I think he mentioned. His whole thing was, you wait for all these guys to leave until you came to WWE. My thing is, that completely buries the entire main roster. That's basically telling all of you guys mean nothing. What about John Cena? AJ had a great feud with John Cena. He had a feud with Randy Orton. He beat him last year. He had a feud with Roman Reigns. Is he afraid of also these guys are bums? These guys are nothing, Undertaker, nothing compared to the Attitude. I mean, half the fans think that anyway, but I mean, I didn't like Undertaker buried him, but he will bury AJ Styles. I hope Michelle McCool doesn't get involved and gives AJ the Styles Clash. I think that'd just be awful. But AJ's getting buried here. Undertaker's going to win this Boneyard match. I think it's just a buried alive match on set. It's just a buried alive match. That's what I think it's going to be. They could just call it buried alive. I don't think that'd be a huge deal, because I think they've done one in the PG era before anyway. So I think Undertaker buried AJ in this match, and that's what the Boneyard match is. Undertaker wins it. I think this will be the first type of buried alive match at WrestleMania. He's had other gimmicks. He's had Hell in a Cell. I think he's had a couple of casket matches and stuff, but this is, I think, his first buried alive type match at Mania, if that's what it is. Next, the NXT Women's Championship is on the line. Rhea Ripley defends her title against Charlotte Flair. So they were showing highlights on the WWE Network from last year's WrestleMania main event with Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. It was okay. So this match, I wanted to bring that up because I watched it recently. This match, I don't know who's going to win. It could go either way. It could go to Rhea. It could go to Charlotte. My gut tells me Charlotte, but I'm just... something... I want to pick Rhea because I think she'll win. Something tells me, like, My gut is, Rhea should win. That's right. I don't think she'll win. I think she should win, but my gut does tell me Charlotte. It could go either way. Putting an NXT title on Charlotte's not a horrible idea. I look at it as, we have Charlotte Flair on NXT feuding with Bianca Belair, or maybe Toni Storm when she comes up. She'll elevate all those women. She'll do really well in NXT. Her winning the title back in NXT, it'll do good for NXT. It'll do wonders for her. It'll get people to watch. Charlotte's a big star. She was a much bigger star than Rhea is. They could have a good match here, but it's not going to be a good match in front of no crowd. So it's not a good match. This is not the kind of match that's going to work. I think it could go either way. I think this is one of the closest matches to call. It's almost like a toss-up. I'd say it's 50, probably like 52, 53 in favor of Charlotte in percentage to win, but I'm going to pick Rhea to win. I think Charlotte might win. I might sound like a complete idiot, and I'll probably say, I should have known Charlotte was going to win, but I'm going to pick Rhea, but Charlotte could easily win. Next, the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch defends her title against Shayna Baszler. So, this again could go either way. Shayna's the favorite, but it's not a huge favorite. Same thing with Rhea and Charlotte. Rhea's the favorite, but not a big favorite. Becky could win. I think if they want to make this feud work, Shayna has to beat Becky the first time. Becky's going to beat Shayna eventually, and she'll overcome her and move on to someone else eventually, and she's going to overcome her because Becky is still the top star. And I heard that 18-wheeler she's bringing out on Raw every night, she was actually supposed to have a big WrestleMania entrance in the stadium with the 18-wheeler. It was going to be really cool. It was going to be like Charlotte's entrance from this past year, or last year in the helicopter, but Becky would come out in an 18-wheeler. That'd be actually super cool. That was her entrance. That's what it was going to be, but it got scrapped. That's why she's coming out on Raw every night with it. Becky, again, she's the top star. They're going to push her for a while. Losing the belt's not going to kill her. So I think she loses to Shayna. I think Shayna will choke her out. I think it'll be a decisive win. Some people think it's a squash match. I don't think that. Some people think Brock Lesnar, John Cena from SummerSlam 2014 or something. I don't see that. I think it's a decisive win for Shayna. It's a clean win. It's not a heel win or a cheap win. It's a clean chokeout win. But I think Baszler is going to beat Becky Lynch. And the feud will continue, though. But Baszler, I think, wins the Raw Women's title. WWE Universal Championship, you have Goldberg defending against Roman Reigns. That's what it's advertised. It's not Roman Reigns. He pulled out. He even confirmed it. So he's not wrestling. I think it's going to be Braun Strowman. They didn't confirm it to be Strowman, but it looks like it is. As to who wins, I would love for Strowman to win. I think it would be awesome giving the belts on Strowman. Giving him a big push. I think that'd be great, but I don't see him winning. I think Goldberg's going to win. I think he's going to beat Braun Strowman because I don't think they're going to push Braun Strowman as champ. He could beat Goldberg, but I think they're going to keep it on Goldberg and they're going to have him lose to Roman Reigns eventually. It'll happen in a few weeks. It'll happen. Roman's going to beat Goldberg. The whole point, you can't take it off him because it ruins the whole victory of The Fiend. The whole point, they had Goldberg beat The Fiend in Saudi Arabia, which feels like it was a century ago now, or a couple years ago at least. No, the reason they did that was to get the belt on Roman Reigns without him being booed at WrestleMania. They wanted Goldberg to be hated, and they'll put the belt on Reigns, and they'll have Reigns beat him at Mania after he beats The Fiend. But that's not what happened. It's a mess. Goldberg shouldn't be there. He probably thinks, what am I doing here? But he enjoys the paycheck. I think he beats Braun Strowman. I think that's it. And I think Strowman's damaged goods. I used to be the biggest Strowman fan. He was my favorite wrestler. But, he's damaged goods. So, the match, I think, is probably the main event of one of the two nights for sure. Brock Lesnar defends his WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. So, what are they going to do here? They could go Brock retain. It wouldn't be a shock. It wouldn't be such a terrible idea because we really think we want to coronate Drew in front of people. But the problem is we don't know when there's going to be people. We don't know when the next time there's going to be a live event. If there is another live event, for all we know, who knows? They want Drew's title win to mean something, but people are going to watch. There's going to be a decent enough people watching this. I know it's having him. He knocks out Brock with the Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3, and there's no crowd reaction. And he just celebrates on the turnbuckle on that empty performance. And I know how it looks. You want to see him get that big Mania moment. in Raymond James Stadium. But it's just not going to happen this year. I think he beats Brock because I think this is what they're going to do. I think they've been building up to it. I'd be shocked if Brock wins because I think it was always going to be Drew pinning Brock at WrestleMania. He KOs Brock with the Claymore kick and wins the WWE Championship from Brock and becomes champion. But they could go with Brock retaining. Wouldn't be a complete shock to me at all. They've done that before where everyone thinks Brock's done, Brock's losing, then of course he wins. There's numerous times in which they've done that. So Brock could win. I really would not be surprised one bit. But I do think Drew wins, and that's going to recap my prediction for WrestleMania. Too big for one night, my ass. It's the WrestleMania that was destroyed by the coronavirus. So fuck you, coronavirus. You ruined WrestleMania. This should be in Tampa Bay in the Raymond James Stadium, but it's not. So fuck you, coronavirus.